works with. So he's going to better introduce himself and he's going to kickstart today with Node.js. And any assignments that he has for us, he's going to let us know, I think, during or maybe at the end of the coding session with you all. So stay focused, stay tuned. Mr. Guilherme, over to you.
All right. So hey guys, my name is Guilherme. I'm like a software developer, like a web developer for a few years now, and yeah. So I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to do basic stuff first with Node.js, and then after, according to the plan that God will set up, we will be making like a full enterprise project as I understand it. And yeah, so the idea is that I'll give a class to you guys maybe once a week, and then after that we have like a few assignments for you guys, so then you can push those to GitHub. I don't know if all you guys know how to use GitHub. I don't know also the experience of all you guys, so I don't know if there's like starters or there may be more experienced guys here. So, but I'll start from the basics, okay? And today I think I'll just show how to install like Node.js, right? Install Node.js on Windows. I think most of you guys have Windows, right? Is that correct? And if so, I'll just move on and make a basic Express application. All right. So let's start now. I'm recording the video, so yeah. Okay, so to install Node.js on Windows, first you gotta download Node.js, right? So there's a site here with the NVM Windows. I'll be sharing this link here. Let me share it with you guys here on the chat. Yeah, so that's like a version of NVM. So NVM is like a package manager that manages um, your node versions, right? So you can oh, I think God, you just raised a hand. Yeah, God, you sure? Go ahead. Open queue, what's that? I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, wanna say something, God? Your mic is a little low.
Okay, can you all get me now?
Super low, super low. I can't hear.
Okay, is it better?
Little better, but still very low.
Okay, you asked about guys, those with Mac computers. So I just want to find out how many of us here are Windows users and how many of us here are Linux or Mac users. You can drop it in the message box. I've seen Favor said she has a Mac computer. Who else has a Mac computer? Those for Windows, type Windows on the comment box or text box. Those with Mac or Linux. Okay.
So there's a couple Linux there, and there's Windows. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I
Okay.
mean, let's just do Windows. I think okay. So if I were to teach the other ones, I think it's a similar process. Let me just try here to so
Yeah,
npm
Mr.
install
Guilherme, please share your
Mac.
screen.
So for example, if you wanna install on Mac, you just gotta follow a few things here. Like you copy these lines, right? I think on Linux must be similar. So you basically install here, then brew uninstall, and then install NVM. So brew update, then brew install NVM, right? And then you can just change your profile and you add these lines here. So export NVM, and then you type source to refresh like the environment variables. And then once you source, yeah, then you gotta access to NVM. And then it's the same thing for all platforms, right? So this is the only part that's different. So this would be for Mac. I think for Linux it's very similar. It's a few commands, but yeah, just Google install NVM, right? And then I'll move on here from Windows, okay? And then, okay, so from Windows I just gotta go to this link here, which is the Corey Butter NVM Windows, and then I just download here the NVM setup.exe, and then it's downloading, and then let's see. Yeah, and then you just install it. It's pretty straightforward. You just click next, next, and install. I already have installed it, so I'm not sure it will install again, but let me see. Yeah, so basically, Yeah, let me see. I think I already have it, so let me open just a terminal here just to check. NVM. Yeah, I already have it, so I won't install, but you guys can just install it, just pretty straightforward, okay? And then after that, what you gotta do is like you can like NVM list. So NVM list will show you the version of the Node.js that you're using, right? So if I do here Node, I think it's Node version, it will show that I'm using the 18.5.0, which is the latest release, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to install a new version, just do like a nvm install. But let me see what other versions are available. So I can just go here and type so Node.js versions, and then let's see. So yeah, so 18.15 is the latest, and the current is this one. So for example, if I were to install a new one, I would do like a nvm install 18.15.0, right? And then nvm install, and then let's see, it's downloading. I hope this is fast enough, uh, depending on my connection here. So extracting node. Yeah, so while it installs, I'll just show you guys here. I'll open another terminal here. Yeah, installed there, right? So now you can just type nvm use to use the new version. So if I just do nvm list again, let's see. So now you got on the list 15 also, right? So if I want to change the node version to the another one, I just nvm use 18.15.0. So that's super handy because sometimes you got a version of Node.js that doesn't work with your projects, right? So you
Mr.
just
Game,
change it. Yeah, go ahead.
please can you share your screen?
Oh, guys, you're not seeing my screen. Oh, that's so bad. I mean, oh, oh my god, I gotta start again. I think. Okay, so press it now. Oh shit, man. Yeah, yeah. I'll just go over everything again. So can you see the screen now? Yeah,
Yeah, guys, I
somebody.
can see the screen now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, guys, please don't let me do this again. Please, someone like let me know if I'm not sharing my screen. Um, but yeah, so let's go again, right? I'll just show you the same thing this show. Like I guess I gotta show everything, right? So I'll just do nvm install 19.8.1 and then install. Okay, and then it's downloading. Let's wait a little bit. We are live, yeah, man. We are live. Got your side on the chats. Let's see. Let's try. Okay, install, right? So if I do the nvm list, it will show the version here. Then I can just nvm use like a 19.8.1, right? So yeah, I ask for permission here, blah blah blah, and then yeah, now it's using. I can check if I do nvm list, and then if I do node version, so it's 19 now, right? So I just change. I change back to the other one because I kind of like using the this version here, 18.5.0. I like this, and then okay, so that should get rid of installing Node.js for you guys, right? So now so when web development developing, we have this very handy tool which is Visual Studio Code. Probably some of you guys are familiar with it. So if you're not, just download it because it's probably the best one that I know of. Right? So you just download the Visual Studio Code, and then you can like make a project here for many languages, and then we go on from there, right? So just create here, for example, let me create a project here. Let me see. If I just create a folder here, like a folder. What's the maybe I don't know. Maybe what's the name here is gratify, right? So gratify test, and then I can just go back here and click open folder, and then on the desktop I gratify test, and then okay. Yes, I trust the authors. So when you install Node.js, it comes with a thing called npm package, right? So that thing we use to install many dependencies. I think it comes by default on the Node.js version, right? So I think, let me see if there is this command here. Yeah, I think this doesn't work, but never mind. Oh, kind of a bug there. Okay, so if you want to initialize a project in Node.js, just do this npm init -y, right? So this -y is to create without asking you any questions, because if not, they is gonna ask you like the name of the project and everything, and then you gotta fill it in, and then it's a bit annoying, right? So you just do the -y thing. Maybe my computer's a little slow here. I don't know. Let's see. I hope not. npm init -y. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it worked. Okay, so we created a project named Grassify Test, so that's the name of the folder, right, with the version 1.0.0, no description, and then the main thing is should be called index.js, right? So I should create here a file named index.js, so that will be the main file, the entry point of our application. And then it creates like a package.json, which is the thing that holds our scripts, and then the dependencies. So a dependency is like, for example, the thing we're gonna do today is like install. We're gonna use Express, right, to make a simple route. So Express is the thing that lives in the backend. That's functions like a server, and like so you can make calls to the server, right, and then the Express.js will get the request to make from the front end. For example, if I want to get all the users that are in the database, so I will call the Express route in the backend, and then the Express route will take care of it, right? So it will fetch all the users, add them to the list, and then return the list, right? So for example, here, so Grassify Test. I'll just install. So again, I'll use npm, which is the package manager. npm install, and then Express, right? And then let's see, it will install in a few moments, I hope. Let's wait a little bit. Okay, so it installed Express, right? So if I wanna do some basic code here with Express, I can start by requiring the Express, right? So this is already like a JavaScript code. So for example, I could do like a const express equals require express, right? So express now is living here as a dependency. You can check package.json. So there's this folder here called node modules that has all the dependencies, the most that that you install. So I install express. So express is here. So here is express, right? And then all the dependencies that express uses are also installed, right? So in this node module folder. So what you can do here also is like if you're gonna commit to Git later, you can do like a git ignore. So this is a file that helps Git know. Yeah, I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself, because I'm already talking about Git, right? So Git is a thing that you use to save your progress, basically. So you basically do your code, you create your code on your computer, right? And then you have your GitHub account where you use these commands like git commit and git add, and then you just git push to push all your code to the remote repository, right? Which is the thing that lives on the server. So then you can just keep it remote, and then you can pull to your local machine anytime you want. So that's Git. So Git will basically push or commit all these folders here to the repository, right? But this node modules folder is not needed to push because you can just install it. You can just it's because it's too heavy, right? It's a bunch of files, so you can just ignore it. So you can just do like the node modules here, and then it won't push that folder to Git. And then the guy just has to run npm install once he downloads the other stuff, right, to install the dependencies, and then it will create his own node modules folder. I hope you guys understand. Not sure if I'm being crystal clear, but let's see. So const app. So then I create an express instance, right, and then I do like so for example, so how now can I start using the express server, right? I can just set a port here, for example, port 3000, and then I just call dot listen, and then I set port here, and then like I do this arrow function here. So this is an arrow function. So there's a couple ways you can create a function in JavaScript. So one way is this: you do function some name, and then braces, and then curly brace, right? And then you do something here. For example, you can do like const a equals 2, const b equals 5, and then return a plus b, right? So it will return 7, this function here. Another way you can do it is just this notation here. So that this will be the same thing. You just create a variable, for example, some variable, and then you do equal sign, and then brace here, and then this arrow function, and then you open the curly brace. This is the exact same thing. So this thing will work like a function here. So these two things here are the same, equivalent, right? So that's why I put like here the arrow function, right? So I'll just save. I'll just save here, and then I'll do okay. So if my I gotta explain this. So this is listening to the port 3000, and then once the port 3000 is listening, it's gonna call this function here, which is a callback function. That means when it's done with the listen command, it will call this, right? So this here, oh, I think someone just posted something here on the meets. What is it? Oh, I think audio just left. Maybe he lost his connection. Doesn't matter.
No,
Let's go ahead. So yeah, okay. So for example, console log. So console log, you just log something to the terminal there, and then you can type maybe server started on port, and then you just type port here, right? And then let's see if this works. So to run the program, I just need to do like a node index.js. Oh, kind of gave a bug there. Oh, it's a typo here, right? So I corrected it, and let's see. CLS. Okay. Okay, so server started on port 3000, right? So the listen command worked, and then it's listening on port 3000. Okay. Okay. So now there's this thing called routes or routes. I don't know. I guess on American English you can say routes, and maybe on British English is like routes. I don't care. I may use either routes or routes. But for example, I can make another file here.
Mr. Giheme, I think someone just asked a question.
Oh, someone asked a question. Oh, can we use import instead of require in Express? Okay, so this question here. Oh, is Brazil internet that fast? Not that fast actually. Can we use import instead of require? Yeah, you can use import instead of require. No problem, I think. But then this should be a module, I think. Let me see if this works. I'll try. If you were to use it that way that you said, you would do like this express, and then express, right? And then let's see. Yeah, doesn't work. Oh, sorry. From. Oh, not require. Import express from express. So that's the way. And then let's see if it works. Yeah, I can't use import statement inside the module. So we're not using like modules yet. So that's why the import won't work, right? So not sure if I can convert this to work this way. Let me check real quick.
I think if we are using bare express to work on this, I think we must use import. Yeah, especially at the level of the backend. But I think there are some modules which if we are to add, we must use import. Yeah, rather. But in this context, I think we are obliged to use require. But if I remember well, there are some modules where when you install them, you're obliged to use import. So it just depends on the context you're working on.
Yeah,
I think
because it needs a few extra configuration to be able to use like modules, right? I'm not sure if it will work, but let's try.
yeah. Mr. Guillermo, so I think is there any question from someone else? Is someone else having any question? Because what we are currently doing now is this is Node.js and this is backend. I believe you all have some basic knowledge on HTML, CSS, and basic JavaScript. So this is Node.js. backend express precisely. So we are moving on gradually. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. Or if someone is currently developing with this for a PC, if you're following with your PC, you can ask any question. We are going to get to you.
Yeah. So okay. So basically you can use import. Okay, but it needs to be a different setup. I'm set up here your basic stuff. So first I'll just do require, and as we move on and the project improves, I'll change the setup a bit. So then we can use import, no problem. But for now you should use require. Okay. So const express equals require express. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's see if it works again. Okay, so it's listening. Okay. So then what I can do is I can create a file here. Let's see if this works. So routes.js. If not, I'll just define the route on the. Okay, so I'll just do the same thing here. Require express, and then const router equals express dot router dot get. I'll just type it out and then see if it works. Okay, and if it does, I'll just explain it. I mean, hopefully it does. Let's see. God damn. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of a red line here. Not sure. Did route.get. This is express.router. Seems correct. Router.get. Yeah, I'm not sure what this error is. I'll just continue. Nevertheless, let's see.
Or perhaps, Mr. Game, I would suggest maybe you could create the routes in the main file. I
Yeah,
think maybe
I
that
could do
would
that,
be
but let's test. Let's see if it works first, okay? If not,
okay.
I'll just change. But let's see. And then const example route equals require. Uh, Man, my keyboard is a little bit bad today. Routes. And then let's see if it works. Cannot find routes. Okay, so then slash here. Missing the right parenthesis after the argument list. Okay, so I think I'm missing the right parenthesis here. That's it. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, so it seems to have worked. So this is what I'm trying to show, right? So basically, sometimes in a real application, what you have is like a folder with all your routes, right? So that could be called routes, and then it could be this here could be called, I mean, some routes, right? Some routes, or maybe users. I don't know if it were to return the users, right? For example, and let's see. I could just put the users here. I mean, Windows is so annoying. Okay, so users, and then here I can just change here to import. So routes slash users. Okay, and then I can just add the route here. I can just do app.use. So for example, I can set the root name to my keyboard is super bad. This is not a joke, man. So then let's see, users, and then I can just use here example route, right? So what's doing is like getting the root from another file and just importing it here. And then if someone calls it, it should return this is an example route, right? So let's see. If I do Node.js, it's running. Okay, so how do you test that a route is working? You can do it in a few different ways. You can use curl, which is like a command line thing here, like you just do curl and then get, so you can just call the routes, or you can just call from your front end, right? So then you have a function somewhere in the front end that will do like a fetch and then type the route, right? So example routes, and then that's another way. But the way I'm gonna try to show today is like using Postman, right? So Postman is like this very useful program here that's free. You can download. There's also on Windows, on Mac, on Linux, everywhere you have it. So you can just type like a request here, and then you save your request, and then you can just that, right? So for example, my server is running on the local host 3000, right? So what I can do here is like I can make a GET request with HTTP / localhost, and then oh god, 3000, and then /users, right? I think that was our route, okay? And then let's see if this works. Yeah, so it worked, you guys see? So this is an example route. So here is how you create routes, and I think you guys can clearly see it now. So this is the /users, okay, route. So this is my site URL. In this case, it's localhost, but could be anything. Could be like I don't know, google.com or maybe gracifytechnologies.com. And then you define the route, and then the route, I'll set the name of the route here. So this is /users. I could change it, so then it will change here as well, be another thing. And then it will go to the route and then return whatever I'm sending here, right? So here's what I'm doing is just using an express router to send a response, right? So I could do something here, calculate anything here, or maybe fetch like data from the back end, and then return data, right? And return it, and then yeah, and then just send it back to the user, and that's how you do it. So that's a basic API. I think that's probably a good starting point for us. And yeah, if you guys, again, I'm not sure what's the level of you guys. I'm treating you guys like you guys are complete beginners, but I'm not sure if that's the case. But I guess I'll just have some assignments. You guys should be able to code this, okay? At least as much. So if you guys can code this and submit to your own Git accounts, you can just send it to me. I'll give you a few instructions later, so you guys can see how you should send. Basically, you push to your Git and then send, and then you should have a. Yeah, I'll give you some extra instructions later. But you should send it to me so I can see if it works and everything, and then I know that you guys are learning. Okay. So yeah, so then I'll maybe give a few pointers here on how you can push code to Git. Okay, so yeah, let's try here. Let's try sending this to Git. So basically, what you can do here is like you can do git init. So git init will transform this in a thing that's like a repository that you can send to Git. Okay. So then the git ignore. Yeah, I already explained this, I think. So what you can do to add everything, you can do like so if I do git status, it will show me that these files here are untracked, right? So there's no commits, and I'm on bench master, right? So master is the name of the it's like the default name of the branch. So a bench is like so you can push your code to different branches. So for example, so say my main projects I push on master, okay? So this is a branch. And then if I want to do some feature, I can just do another branch, maybe called, I don't know, feature 1. And then I can keep working on this feature without changing the main branch. So when I finish the feature, I merge the content of the feature back to the main branch, okay? So that helps because sometimes many developers are working on the same branch. For example, I can have a bunch of people working on master, but the changes will only be pushed to master once I finish the feature and then I commit, right? So then I make sure that I commit code that is working, right? Because if I did not do it this way, I'll just send a bunch of stuff that not necessarily works. So I finish my feature first, and then I merge it back to the master, okay? I'm not sure if that's too clear. You guys should take a look of the basics of Git, but it's not difficult, it's really easy to use, right? So then here you just do like a git add and then a DOS. That will add everything you have, right? So then if I do again git status, it will show new file has been added, right? So all these files that were red and are green, and then you can create a commit, right? So I commit, for example, -m, and then it's just a message that shows you what you just did, right? So if I can just find it, okay, found it, and then I can call it whatever I want, like first commit, or maybe finish feature, I don't know. I'll just call it first commit, okay? So then it's committed. This means it's saved. Okay, so now your code is saved. So now what you can do is you wanna push it to the remote. Okay. So to push it to the remote, you gotta first create like a GitHub account. Okay. So I try to just use my own here. So let's see. So I'll just go to github.com. I'm just signing here. Yeah, I hope my password is still the same. I mean, also this keyboard is so bad. Okay, worked. So log into Git, right? That's some of my projects there. So here's what I do. I create a new repository here. I click new. Okay. And then I just pick a name. For example, I think the name I chose was Grassify Test. Okay. So I just do here Grassify Test. I'll just leave it as a public repository so anyone can see. But it could be private also, right? So I'll just create repository. Okay, so this created the repository. So the code lives here, but there's no code yet, right? So here's what you do if you wanna push those changes from Visual Studio here to the internet, right? To the GitHub. You just copy this line here. The git remote add origin. So origin is like the remote server. And then you copy this line, and then you go here to back to the Visual Studio, and you paste the line. So now your local Git knows where the origin lives. And then you go back here, and you just push -u. -u is like to push everything, I think. Not sure, but yeah. So I just origin is the remote, right? And here's the name of my branch, which is master. As you can see here, the name of the branch is master, right? So I just push. It's saying something. I just say yes. I think it's just adding the remote. Oh, there's something else. Let me see. It's okay. You gotta do this as well. Yeah, you have to do this because this will work, but you first need to authenticate. Okay. I hope this is not getting too complicated. But I mean, let's see. Okay. Let's see. So first thing I need to create like what's the name, man? I forgot the name. It's like oh, okay, I remember. It's an SSH key. So an SSH key is like basically a file that you create inside your computer that says your computer is that you have access to the GitHub repo, right? So you basically create a pair of keys. So the SSH key, right? So there's a pair of keys. The GitHub account holds the public key, and then you generate in your computer a private key. And then when you do it, you basically know it basically knows that you are authenticated, right? So then the people who come later can
No, it's fine. It's fine. Of course, we are all learning.
yeah.
You know.
So then let's see. So there's this program here that I always use. It's called SSH Keygen, right? So then I can probably just do it here. Let me see. SSH Keygen, SSH Keygen. Let's see. Okay, so it's created. It's created under Guilherme.ssh, and then I just yeah, this is the file, and this is the best phrase. I'm just typing enter, okay? Yeah. So okay, so it just created the
Please,
SSH
yeah,
key.
sorry. Please, can you unmute yourself? I mistakenly muted your mic.
Oh, sorry guys. So
Yeah,
yes,
thank
going
you.
back. So I found this program here. You guys have to have Git Bash. So Git Bash is this thing that lets you use like Bash commands on Windows. So this is super useful for development, right? So you can just download here the Git Bash somewhere here. Let me see, Git Bash. Yeah, that's the one. Git SSM. You just download the Git Bash from there. So then you can just call the SSH Keygen program here, right? So and then you just type enter for the passphrase and enter for the file, and then you just save your SSH key to this folder here, okay? So you can just go here to the folder. What is it? So users Guilherme.ssh. Okay, so here's the keys, right? So this is the public key, and here is your private key. So I think you just need to upload one of those. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what. But yeah, but I'll find here on the dashboard real quick. Let's see. So here in the dashboard, there's a place where you can upload like your keys, right? So I think it's on the repository configs. So let's see. It's either the repository or my general configs. Oh, I think it's my general configs. That's right. So I go just here to go to settings, and there should be yeah, developer settings. That's it. Yeah. Personal access token. No, that's not it. That's not it. It's SSH key. I think that's another thing. That's a personal access token. So that's okay. SSH and DP. You see SSH keys. Okay. So here are some of my. Oh, I shouldn't be sharing this, because those are my keys. I'll just cut this part after. But okay, let's see. Let's show you how to put the new SSH key, right? So some keys, so like for example, key, Windows, new, for example, authentication key, and then I can just go find this, right? So I can just open here the key. I think this is the one. Let me see if this is the one. So it's one that begins with SSH RSA. I shouldn't be sharing these as well, but never mind, because I'll just delete this later. Yeah, so this is the public key. So this is the key that you need to upload to Git, so Git knows. So you hold the private key in your computer, and Git knows what your public key is, right? So now you're basically authenticated now, okay? Hopefully. I mean, where's the key Windows new? So it's here, right? And if I go back here to the thing here, I can just hopefully push and everything will work. I hope to God. Let's see. Yeah, worked. You guys see? So it pushed now to the Git. So if I go back here to the repository, right? So what's the name of my repository again? It's like what's the name again? I forgot the name. It's like Grassify test, right? So it's github.com.girbm.grassify test. Okay. So here it is. Everything that I did is now on the remote. You see? So first commit here, and now it's the index, the package doc, package JSON, the roots folder with the users and everything is here. Okay. That's basically how you push. Yeah, I hope you guys saw that. I mean, so that's how you do it. You basically use SSH keygen, create a new key, and then you go to the Git here on the where's my Git, man? To the settings, right? So I click here and I go to settings. Then I go to SSH keys, and then I click new SSH key, and then I type any name, and then I just open my SSH key on that folder, and then I open the .pub file, and then I copy everything and just paste everything here and just save. Okay, so then you can push. You're authenticated this way, and you'll always be, unless you delete this folder here, then you're not authenticated anymore. Okay, I think this pretty much sums it up. I'm not sure that God will wants to say something to finish. I'll just ask him. Okay, God, are you there? Hey, God.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I can hear you.
So that's it. I finished. I explained to the guys how to add the SSH key, and it worked. And I pushed everything to the repository, and then yeah, I'll make a video later and post to the channel or to the WhatsApp. I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah.